Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm feeling a little bit pale and wan and sorry for myself today because I seem to have got some kind of a virusy thing going on. It's not COVID, I've tested, it's not COVID, but it's along with it I've got this strange vertigo thing, so that if I turn my head too quickly or when I lie down or whatever I'm spinning, so it's a bit odd and I'm just feeling a bit picky, but yeah, a bit annoying when it's my birthday coming up Monday and I've just started 2 weeks off, so my head is stuffed full of all the creative things I want to fit in, and now I'm feeling a bit poorly so I'm not going to let it stop me. Okay, because it's Boho Bunting Day, so I have fortunately already kind of knew what I wanted to do for this, so I haven't had to think too hard. Here's the pieces I've picked out, and I've got a piece of the plain grey. Oh, see, even just moving my head forward to do this, I'm so if I sound a bit odd, it's partly because I'm a bit odd. It might also be because I'm a little bit poorly. So what I want to do for this week is my version of something called Trapunto quilting. I think it was Christine that told me what it was called for my half-assed description of it. And that's where you make a little channel and then you thread quilting wool through it to create sort of raised lines and patterns. And I've been having a quick look at some tutorials and things, and apparently you can also outline shapes and then stuff them, and you stuff them by cutting in from the back and stuffing from the back and closing it up again. So I'm going to do my usual cobbled together kind of Frankenstein version of this technique. I need to decide what shape I'm going to use because I'm coming to the end. I've only got this is week 10, so 10, 11, 12, so I've only got 3 to do. So I've got a couple of rectangles. I think I've got more than enough triangles. Only one of that shape, only one of that shape, only one of that. So plenty of rectangles and triangles. So I've just got to decide. That's kind of like a triangle, so I'm going to rule that out. Yeah, the motif shape, I just prefer a circle. But what I'd quite like to do is use this piece, which I've forgotten what I was doing with it, something that didn't work out, and I put it aside and said I'll use this. So I want to use it. I like that frayed edge and everything. I'm going to probably stitch that down first and then do some of this trapunto work into it. So that way there'll be a couple of layers, because otherwise whatever I use will show through. Apparently you can do that deliberately though. I thought it was a fun idea. When you do the trapunto quilting, you can deliberately use a sheer fabric and then make the stuffing a different colour. So you make the stuffing itself a decorative element, which I thought was fun. I don't want to do that today, but I will keep that in my head, hopefully, along with all the cotton wool that's in there at the moment. Kind of feel like I'm leaning towards this one, I think. Yeah, let me go with that one. Right, put those away. Whoops, I've just thrown that one on the floor. See, I can't get that one off the floor. I'll probably fall over. So I'm going with this shape. I need to cut it out of my backing fabric first. It's days like today when I'm a bit not quite on top form that I really need my basic recipe. Unfortunately we've got people coming for dinner tonight as well. I'm not going to be live and soul to the party, that's for sure. At least I've checked it's not COVID. I'm not going to be... That would have been a nice birthday present, wouldn't it? So far I have escaped, although quite a few people I know have had it now. And touch wood, a lot of the people that seem to be getting it now that I know aren't getting too poorly with it, so that's good. Leave myself about 1 centimetre seam allowance. Yeah, I've got so many ideas, so many things I want to fit into this fortnight. Sometimes I think when you're really tired and feeling like you really need a break, you get that break and then suddenly you get ill, don't you? Because you've slowed down or something. I don't know. Why is that? Why does that happen? I had to fight the urge to cancel tonight's dinner, curl up on the sofa under a quilt with a hot water bottle and a book, to be honest. I knew I would feel better if I'd have a little bit of time in my craft room. even if I just get this started and finish it off tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be feeling a bit better. Now I've got to apply my pieces onto here, so that's going to be one. Not in the best decision making frame of mind either, but let's just cut that piece there. It's so easy, this method, if you can call it a method. So I know that that piece is going to cover the rest of my base fabric, so I'm going to turn that back and I'm going to stitch along there. So this is the part of my basic recipe where I'm dividing my pennant shape into 1, 2, 3 or 4, and I've gone for this, but I've actually made my divide a bit lower down, and I haven't bothered to draw my line on the back. I'm just going to hope that I can wing it. So this will be adding my fabric pieces and one applique. This will be my applique, and then decorative stitches. That would be my trapunto. And other decorative elements I probably won't need this time, because the trapunto itself will be the decorative element. And then adding backing and finishing the bottom edge. It's difficult with these. It doesn't really work with fringing or tassels. I suppose I could put one central tassel there. What I did with this one last time, this shape last time, was a little beaded edge. I might do that again. So I've still got lots of beads. I think I do need that line just to give me some kind of idea where I'm going. So I'm just going to run a line of just little running stitches along here. Doesn't need to be back stitched, doesn't need to be super strong or anything, because this seam is taking no strain at all. It's really just anchoring the fabric to the base, and then I'm going to be working so many decorative stitches and things on top of it that it will all be held together more than adequately by the decorative stitching. It's just a line of not particularly neat or small. It's usually a little bit neater and smaller than that, but that will be fine. So then when I turn my piece over, you can see that the whole piece is covered by the fabric. It's a little bit skimpy, hang on, a little bit skimpy at the bottom here, but that's fine because that will all come into the seam allowance anyway. And where's my handy dandy seam roller? Here it is. It's going to be squeaky, sorry for the squeaky. So now what I need to do is run another line of stitching, just basting really around the outside of the piece, and then I can trim all the excess off. This is really just creating my kind of a canvas to stitch into. It seems like a lot of pins really just for this, but this silk does have a tendency to walk about by itself when you don't want it to. Because I quite like it when the thread shows, I always make a point of choosing one that I think looks nice with it. If I didn't want my basting stitch to show, I'd do it well within the seam allowance, but I quite like it showing. I like all that background stitching showing, so I usually pick a colour that I think looks okay. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the end of that now. It's only taken me a couple of minutes. For me, this is just setting the scene. Ready for the more interesting part. So I have run my little line of just a kind of basting stitch really all the way around the shape. I don't need to leave an opening because I won't be turning this through. When I'm done, I'll be putting another piece of backing fabric on, cotton of some kind, and then I'll leave the top open and turn it all the right way out. But for this, I don't need to worry. So I'm just going to trim the excess off. So that's my basic shape now. It looks a little bit crooked down on one side, don't matter. And then I'm going to put my circular motif there. And again, I need to tack this on before I start. It's a shame you can actually see the black through there. I think I might have to put a layer of something else underneath here. Now, one of the ideas I've got, and this is very, very much going against the traditional, is I've got some of this, which I believe my son gave me, and I was thinking I could use it because I haven't got any of the quilting wool to use for the sort of line part of the Trapunto. I'm just wondering, yeah, I think that'd be okay. Right, so I'm going to do my first line of stitching right on the edge of where I can see my cotton circle underneath, I think. Okay, I am going to finish dithering and doing my lines of stitching. So each line of stitching has got to be a little, for me, reasonably neat, tidy back stitch, because it's going to show and it needs to contain all of the filling and stuff. So yeah, it needs to be a solid line of stitching. And I might go back in afterwards and add decorative stitching as well. That's probably not what you're supposed to do, but I might do it anyway. So I'm going to stop filming now, do my back stitching and come back and show you when I'm ready to add the stuffing and the cord. Right, so I've done that small circle in the middle, all in back stitch. So I thought I'd have a go at stuffing that, and then I'll do the back stitch on there next, just because I can't wait to have a go and see how this looks. So I need my little pointy pair of scissors, and what I need to do is just snip into this backing fabric. I don't want to cut into the layers of silk on top, so I'm just going to kind of pinch hold of the layers of fabric and try and make sure I've only got that cotton, and then just do a tiny snip into it. Okay. Yep, definitely not coming through. So I just made myself a little hole into the backing. And I can just put my stuffing in there. Now I wonder if I can use some bits out of my orts jar to stuff with. Got a little ball tool I thought would be handy for poking without poking through. Oh dear, real quilters and embroiderers, look away now. So I'm getting there, I'm getting there. I left this thread on the needle here because I need to close up the hole once I'm done, and I thought, well, it'll save me having to start a new thread. Yeah, that's okay. Shall we see what it looks like on the front? Oh, that's all right. I think it needs a little bit more on that side. I think now this line of stitching across here is getting in my way, and I don't need it there anymore, so it can come out. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty good actually. Yeah. Time I got a couple lines of it around here as well. That will help to make sense of it. Now I did realise I was being really dense about this. The cord would work if I could get the cord in, but the way of getting the cord in is to thread it through a needle, and of course this isn't going through a needle, so it does need to be wool. So I've dug out this wool somebody gave me. I was saving it to do something special with, but that's all right. I only need to use a little, it won't take too much. I think I might need to use 2 lines of it inside, because it's not as thick as, I think they use roving or something. It's like a much kind of fluffier wool they use for doing this usually. So I'm going to try and make this work. I don't want to use too much of it. I've got a special purpose in mind for this, but yes, it won't take too much. So I'm happy with the stuffing on that. I don't think I want to do too much more because it'll it'll be too much. So I'm just gonna close this up at the back. I don't even know how you're supposed to do this really, but it's not going to show, so it doesn't matter. Yet again, real embroiderers. Look away. This is Frankenstein Trapunto, I think. Ouch. Okay, I think that'll do it. Let's just fasten that off. What a botch. Okay, done. Oh, I think it's going to be cute. So I've got another couple of lines and then some decorative stitching in between. I think that will look quite nice. Feels lovely. Okay, so I've got a lot more back stitching to do. I think I'm going to leave this. I'm going to do two lines of the trapunto here. I'll do one first. If it works, I'll do another. And then around this bit, I'm just going to do some decorative kind of flat stitching, chain stitch or something like that. And then leave the fray edge there because I like the frayed edge. Okay, so I'm going to start filming again and do some back stitching and watch a bit of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery probably. Okay. I have finished back stitching that ring. I'm going to see if I can get some of this quilting wool in there now. So I'm probably going to want to go around twice. So I don't need a massive amount. I'm saying quilting wool. This isn't quilting wool. Now I've got to hope that this needle will go all around the ring. If not, I might have to come out and go in again, I think. Yeah, maybe that's what you have to do. Maybe I should have watched a whole tutorial, do you think? No, it's way more fun to just botch it. Right, okay, I'm going to leave an ends because I don't want to lose. Oh, it's starting to make a bit of a raised line. I definitely will need twice though. Right, so now I'm going to go back in again. It's quite hard to just go just under that and not go out because the silk is so delicate you can easily go through it. Oh look, I've come out there. Where's that happened? Where have I done that? Oh. Okay, I'm going to start this again. I've got a better idea, which seems obvious now I think about it. So rather than have to go through all of this twice, why don't I just have the thread double? It's really obvious, isn't it? And I'm just going to tie a knot in it so that I don't accidentally pull it right through. Okay, so I'm just going in, I'm just picking up just my cotton, so I just go under the cotton backing. I'm not going through either of the layers of silk. I'm going to have to come up for a while, pull all the gathers out because I don't want that. Oh yeah, that's okay, that's doing the job. Time I got some more decorative stitching around it, it will hide a multitude of sins. Okay, back in that hole. So I'm just like, this is where I've come out, I'm literally going back in the same hole if I can. Back in again, we're on the home stretch. I think that's going to be thick enough. I don't want to squeeze another lot in there. Well, it definitely needs some decorative stitching. I definitely think that that's enough, and I'll just do some chain stitch and running stitch now just to finish it off. Oh, I really like that. It's cute. It's the first time I've tried it, so just wondering whether to do a little like button through in the middle. shall I? If I do that, I'll do it with a different thread anyway. But I think it might be quite fun. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I will come back tomorrow and show you the finished thing with the decorative stitching and the backing on. And I'll probably do just beading around there like I did with that other one, unless I can find a bit of nice piping or something. Maybe that would be good. Okay, so that's me done for now. I will come back tomorrow and show you how it turned out. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.